Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another phenomenal episode of My Momma Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of Black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove the theories that you, the listeners, have at home. It's a motherfucking mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.
Come on. I'm glad to see you back. just glad to see my man on top.
We back, baby. We back. I'm Langston Kerman.
I'm David Borey.
And we were here to read some emails, to talk some shit about what y'all have to talk about. And we got a really exciting email that has already prompted a fair amount of discussion between you, me, and Olivia.
Yeah.
It was a email from a person named Valerie. Valerie sent us an email. They started very formally, gentlemen.
Well, I love it.
I like that. It feels respectful, Valerie. Thank you. Valerie said, big fan of the pod, and thank you for the double dose of fun each week. I saw a famous comedian this past weekend who was shockingly thinner than he appeared in any of his past HBO specials. He started the show by talking about his long journey to get his current physique. Regardless of the particulars of this situation, I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are on the fierce denials regarding the use of OZempic versus doing the work for those in the public eye. Thank Valerie.
I want to get ahead of it and say, if you want to hear these jokes about my true Ozempic body, go to patreon.com/David Boyd. My special is coming out this summer. I will address all rumors for pay there.
Well, let's start this way, because I am now curious. Ozempic gets offered to you. They come to you and they say, David, we see a lot of potential in you. We know we know you're hilarious, but we think there might be a very thin leading man under there. Will you take our miracle drug and free yourself, or rather experience a different version of yourself? Or would you buy in? Are you into that?
No. I do well enough that I could figure out a way to get it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like no. It's just not my get down. But I'm not really for any of that. I mean, we've talked about it, you know? So I personally would not, no.
Yeah. I'm so fearful of drugs in general, especially ones that like promise a cure for something that frankly didn't necessarily need curing. It makes me nervous. Obviously, Ozempic has a purpose. It was a diabetes medication, first and foremost. It just has this odd side effect. And it's not so much a side effect, but this odd payoff that it causes people to lose dramatic amounts of weight as a result of taking it. And so in that way, I just know, unless I have a reason to take this drug, I don't want to put it in my body.
Same. I mean, if there's one thing I've had to learn from hitting my head up against it in general in life, cheating doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's just like, regardless of what the scenario, the desired results are it just doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
It's like not worth wasting your time. Like this, like scamming and all that shit, it doesn't work, man.
I listened to an article on I listen to a podcast, The Daily, every once in a while, and they did an episode about Ozempic, and they were saying that number one, which I think a lot of people don't realize, number one, to be able to maintain the weight loss, you have to continue to take the drug. It's not, you take it for 6 months and then the weight sheds and you get to keep living like that. If you stop taking Ozempic, you start gaining the weight back, or at least, your body recalibrates to the way that it was, presuming you haven't done major lifestyle changes to be able to maintain what that is.
Well, I mean, sometimes even if you have, though, right? Some people's resting weight is kind of just higher.
Yeah, we're not all going to be Brad Pitt in Fight Club. And that just is a fact, even if you did as much work as he did to be able to get to that form.
Some of us are going to be Brad Pitt and the river runs through it.
Yeah.
Was he in that? He was in that.
I think you have to keep taking the drug. But the other thing that the article sort of talked about, or the podcast sort of talked about, was that there are a lot of examples of people who have had like major fucked up side effects to taking these drugs. That like one person in particular they were talking about who started taking Ozempic and now has permanent diarrhea from every
I don't mean to.
Every single poop for the rest of her life, they think, is going to come out as diarrhea because it did not work. Like, she lost weight, but it just has made her very, very sick and cannot keep taking it. But now her shit is just ruined.
Oof, that's like, I don't know, man. I think I'm fine anyways, so it doesn't seem worth it to me. It seems indicative of a greater problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then because like, it's clearly pretty widespread, right?
Widespread in what sense?
I think that a lot of famous people are on that shit.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it.
We were
offline.
saying names off
We
air.
were naming names offline of people we think, and Olivia was naming names, and I was naming names, and you were laughing at all the names. I don't think you named anybody.
Because I live in Colorado, man. I would love to be close to the glitterati who's Ozempic up.
But I will say, yes, it does seem to have like a little bit of a ubiquitous quality now where it is anywhere and everywhere in Hollywood.
And I guess I don't do what you want to do. I guess the lying about it is probably what the big issue is with it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you're a role model to people, whether or not you would like to be. So for you to be like, no, I just started going on walks. It's like, man, that's fucked.
Yeah, I think I take a lot of issue with the lying as well. I think a lot about like Anthony Anderson, right? Who
big head now.
Big head now, but part of that was because he actually did have to take the medication. He's a diabetic. This is medication built for him. He started taking it. He lost a ton of weight. That's just the way it is. But then there are people who are pretending that they aren't taking the Ozempic, and it just would be cooler if they were just like, yo, I didn't like the way I looked. This has been extremely helpful, but I also have enough money and resources to make sure that I'm doing it in a healthy, manageable way. And I wouldn't encourage, a random person off the street to go this route without having, the right doctors and sort of like nutritionists to support their journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more reasonable than anything. Do you think all these people would do it if they weren't so much in the limelight? Because like people on the internet can be cruel, and like I you know what I mean? Like the idea of it trickling down to normal people is, I guess, my worry with it being dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that, yes, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn because the speculation around her is pretty wide, but like Mindy Kaling is a great example of like somebody who has been accused of taking Ozempic, has obviously made like this massive physical transformation. She used to be a lot thicker. She is not that anymore. And constantly people are saying she's on Ozempic, and like, not for nothing, when she wasn't on the drug, people made fun of the way that she looked.
Mm-hmm.
People, shamed her body or sort of like called her frumpy and all the things that they said about her. And so like, yeah, you create, even if it's not as many people as we think, just if I got a message, a single message a day of somebody being like, I don't like the way you look, that would get to me. That would fucking bother me. And the idea that you have millions of followers and a small fraction of a percentage of them are doing it to say something hurtful to you would kind of make you feel like, well, then I'll do anything to make this stop, including take a boo-boo drug.
Yeah, I think that's also what happens with this idea of like shaming people, is that oftentimes the result of shaming someone is not like, oh, I'll just make a healthy lifestyle. It's like, I'll do whatever I can do as fast as I can do.
Yeah.
To get these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a great tactic for changing one's life.
No, and you look at what the actual like journey of changing your physical form is, and it's not fast. It's slow, and it kind of sucks, and the results, even when you're seeing results, don't feel as much like a massive transformation as they feel like sort of like trudging along through a difficult journey. And so like, yeah, if somebody shows up and they're like, bro, I can make all that happen in 3 months. It's like, well, fuck. Yeah, I really want that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't fault these people. Also, this is very funny. Olivia says there's been reporting surprise pregnancies while Ozempic. I'm out.
Okay, because it says that this occurs because GLP-1 drugs can interfere with how birth control pills are absorbed. So basically, it's neutralizing your birth control and getting women pregnant while taking the OZ.
Is that what people call it?
No, I don't know. I just said that for the first time ever.
I thought it was cool.
Thanks, man. that OZ Davis.
Everything about it to me, just the nature of it, the idea that you're going to have to take it for your whole life seems terrible. It's just like, I don't know, man. At some point, American excess really gets to me. Like, bro, that's crazy.
I had to take Accutane because I had very sort of like dramatic cystic acne that had been very bad for a long time. And Accutane, for those that are unaware, is as close as we have to a quote unquote miracle drug as it relates to acne. Like, you take it for like somewhere between like 3 to 9 months, and by the time you finish, you don't have acne anymore, no matter how bad your acne was. And it's awesome in that way, but it also has a fuck ton of side effects, including, and this is very real, that like if you are a woman of any age wanting to take Accutane, they demand that you're on birth control because the likelihood of it causing like a birth defect is like astronomical. Like, the packaging literally like shows you, every package of a pill has a picture of a pregnant woman and a slash through it being like, do not fucking take this drug because it will make your baby look insane. Like, they will come out deformed as fuck because of whatever this drug is. And so like stuff like that, you know, if you are in a place where you need it, I fully respect the choice, but to not acknowledge the dangers and sort of the cost feels irresponsible on all of our ends.
I think, and that's ultimately what I take umbrage with. It's not the use of it. It's like, don't lie to people.
Yeah, no, they should
give
know.
a real example, a real true assessment of what's going on, because it's like, that's scary, man. People with birth defects or any, and that's for Accutane specifically, but anything like that is like, you owe it to people to not let them be blindsided by that. Obviously, if you're going to take a drug, it is your personal responsibility to look into it, look into the side effects and stuff like that. But a lot of people just don't care.
Yeah, and I think to the bigger conversation of also like communicating your experiences honestly with other people is how we actually manage to be responsible with these things. Right. You know what I mean? That like these commercials are on all the time. Ozempic, the Ozempic. That's a
Such a
fucking
good song.
but like that was out before I even knew what it was. And so if I'm a person susceptible to what's being sold to me on television, then I might find myself taking a medication that might ruin my bowels for the rest of my life, or at the very least might put me in a position where I accidentally find myself pregnant and needing to make a choice that I didn't want to have to make because that wasn't part of my plan. And if people would just say out loud, hey, yes, here are the benefits, but here are all the costs, then we can start to have, as you put it, the more honest conversation.
That being said, also, you're not as funny when you're that little.
Now we're talking.
Now let's get to
Now we're really talking the podcast.
Yeah, big old head.
A lot of these motherfuckers ain't as funny when they start losing all that weight.
I don't think comedians are supposed to look hot anyways.
I don't think so either. And I
don't think we're supposed to be rock stars. I think it's goofy weirdos. That's why it works.
Yeah, I want to look at a comedian who I go like, all right, here's where they're fallible. Physically, this is all the things that I would say about them given the opportunity. And they're so funny that I'm scared to say it about them.
Right. Here's where I can take my grain of salt. Because these people are not heroes. Don't listen to them. Don't follow them. But I don't know, man. This shit's dumb. I think it's dumb.
I don't like when comedians get skinny or like too sexy. I don't like when comedians get buff. That's fucking crazy.
And it sucks. And maybe this is coming from a real place because I'm fat. I do love it when comedians get fat.
It can be funny for sure.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny if they acknowledge it. It gets sad when they're like still talking like their skinny selves and pretending like they like it's part of my annoyance with Chappelle is like he won't just be like, hey, my body's crazy now, right?
You gotta say something about that. You gotta say something about that.
Hey y'all, I look weird now, right?
Yeah. Also the long t-shirts. Both of those things.
I know. But before we get started, look, trans people, we'll get to that. But I look weird. Huh? It's almost like I went through a transformation and am struggling with how that feels. So I'm putting that off on people and their sexuality.
I don't know though. Old guy comics, they like showing off their bodies now. Everybody thinks it's cool. No big deal.
No, it is. It's crazy.
Everybody wants to see you showing your abs, old guy. You know who would be hilarious if he got buff? Tracy Morgan.
That would be very funny.
That would be the funniest one. If he just came out just like ripped. That you're like just thinking about it. That would be the best.
That would be very funny. I also I think Bruce would be really funny if he came
just
back.
Got ripped.
Yeah, because it would still be like Mark Henry. It would never.
No, I don't think he would be.
He's never gonna get to Matt Rife. He's always gonna be sort of like just giant, and it'd be muscly, sort of strong.
Yeah, which is a cool guy. Also, cool guy. I do want to say all bodies are good. I don't know, man. It's like people get laid at every whatever. You know what I mean? To like think that you have to look like these famous people to be valid or whatever sucks. You know what I mean? You don't think there's ugly people out here not getting married and or fucking? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I once did mushrooms with my buddy Ryan, and we were walking around this park. And it was the first time I think I'd ever said out loud of how insane it is that we would even try to standardize a body type. That like just as I was walking around the park, I was seeing so many different forms of the human body. It was just like, it's crazy that we would like want one single person to represent what a body could be. Like they're just not. We're not like that. We come in every fucking form, and that's okay.
I think it's rooted in a lot of stuff. I think it's also like specifically size. It's just like what's seen as a defect that it's just visible. You know what I mean? You could see it if somebody's fat. Can't see it if somebody hits their girlfriend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like easier to judge. I know a lot of real bad buff people.
Yeah. That's fair.
Real demons.
Yeah.
Fine as hell.
Yeah,
Demon.
yeah. Yep. I know a lot of people with them cum gutters that ain't treating others right.
Yeah, villainous.
So I guess, Valerie, as it relates to this question of whether or not Ozempic is everywhere, it seems to be. It seems that comedians and actors and performers of all kinds are taking the drugs. But maybe that's okay. Maybe it's just for them to decide for themselves. And more importantly, it's for you at home to decide for yourself if that's something you feel necessary. And we would encourage you to maybe just really focus on the cool shit that you already have going more than looking outward at a bunch of sick people who need attention. as
they're already
standard.
doing stand-up comedy. They're losers.
They're not a good example for any choice whatsoever.
Some stuff is just funny. It's not anything else.
No.
It's not to be modeled after. It's not to be looked at. It's just funny.
Yeah. And I think a lot of comedians are just funny and terrible human beings. So don't be like us.
And a surprisingly larger amount aren't even that funny and are terrible.
Yeah.
Also, I know that you didn't write this email saying that you have body image issues. You're truly just like, hey, I saw this guy look weird. What do you guys think about it?
That's fair. Yeah, she didn't need our encouragement. But just in case you did, or somebody who's listening does, we like you the way you are.
Stupid.
You stupid idiot.
You dummy. With that being said, Langston, do you want to tell the people where they can find you and what cool shit you have going on?
Absolutely. You can find me at Langston Kerman on all social media platforms, and August 20th on Netflix. My special Bad Poetry is going to be out. John Mulaney directed it. We shot it in Chicago at the Green Mill. It's gorgeous. It's funny. It's going to make you rock hard. You'll watch it and you'll be erect the entire time, and then you're gonna have to do something with that erection. And that's not my business. But go watch the special August 20th. And that's it.
Go. Oh, I'm David Bory.
I was about to say, what you got?
Yeah, David Bory, Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram. Go to patreon.com/David Bory. We got all kinds of cool behind the scenes stuff, and I'm releasing my special on there. June 30th, I'm going to be at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. Come out and support there. July 22nd, watch Exploding Kittens, some show that I'm on Netflix with my voice. You know, it really lost steam at the end.
Yeah, it's Exploding Kittens. Go watch it. David's in it.
I'm in it every episode.
Hey, you're in it a lot, and that's fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you I played the game, so I'm excited to watch
you
that
love
show.
It. You like games.
I like games, and I no longer will be recommending them to you, but
come on,
but I'm
don't
still
do that.
A big fan.
Come on, man. Come on. That was just the one time.
No, because honestly, the other complicated games that I enjoy, I know for a fact you will. If you didn't like Villainous, you're not going to like the other shit we have going on.
I used to like that game Power Grid.
I never played Power Grid.
Oh, I liked that. I thought that was fun.
Okay.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
I never did the Settlers of Catan.
No, I've never done. I have played Settlers a fair amount. I don't love Settlers. It's cool. It's kind of I like shit with a real story to it.
Right.
And Settlers is just like, we're buying wheat and now we're buying gold, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
That's all Power Grid is.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, well, maybe we're just like different games. That's okay.
Yeah. Give me a naughty fucking, we're murdering people, or there's real treachery happening
like a mystery dinner theater.
Yeah, there's this game Betrayal that I play sometimes, and that shit's you're like trapped in a haunted house and you have to like defeat the killer or ghost or monsters or whatever it is. That's fucking fun.
Villainous betrayal. I'm sensing some kind of a theme.
You get it. You know what we on.
Yeah, I love it. All right, that's it. That's a good mini episode.
Yeah, I think so. If you wanna send us your own drops, if you want to send us your conspiracy theories, if you want to tell us who you believe to be doing it the right way by shitting themselves through flat tummy tea and not Ozempic, send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And as always, like, subscribe, do all the things, buy the merch, review, rate, watch the YouTube. Never give up on us. Not even for a second.
God damn, that was real.
Even when you start to doubt, hey, is this still working? Is this even worth it anymore? Don't you do that. You keep coming back because we need you. We love you. All right. Bye, bitch.
Gee whiz. Gee willikers, Batman. Is that drip?
Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.